Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits, carrying on with more pumpkin ale that I found on the Dutch web shop called J&B's Craft Drinks. They had a load of pumpkin ales and I have a nostalgic thing for this style, although I never tried that much because you can't really get it in Europe often, but now you can on their shop. A lot of them are sold out now though, unfortunately, but I think it's because they get very small amounts because they do small imports themselves. So yeah, it's an interesting style, and I've been all like pumpkin heavy this weekend. I'm making pumpkin soup tomorrow because of all this, and it's just because I have too much pumpkin right now. And I made pumpkin pie, and the only reason why I made pumpkin pie was because of these beers. I wanted to like, what is the flavor profile? I haven't had it like in a while. I usually only make pumpkin pie like once a year, maybe. For the festive season, but I really like it. It's not often I bake, but I really like pies, American pies, apple pie, cherry pie, all these things. I think they're awesome because of the festive spice. That's the thing. I love festive spices. So yeah, for the spooky season, everyone in the States does these beers and they brew them quite early and release them early, but then they're available, during the season. So yeah, it's basically beers with pumpkin and spices, and it's an ale. So whilst the others we tried were from quite larger craft breweries, I've got two that are from smaller ones. And this one is from Drowned Lands. I reviewed two of their beers already. Their Nelson Pilsner, which was great, and also their fabulous Isabel West Coast Pilsner, or West Coast Pale Ale. But this is Scythe. And Scythe is a foeder fermented pumpkin ale. So an oak foeder. It's 5.7% alcohol, and it's got nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, and ginger, and I think also pumpkin. It actually doesn't say specifically if they put pumpkin in there, so it could also just be pumpkin spice. But I think usually for it to be a pumpkin ale, you have to put in pumpkin as well. So foeder fermented, they do that a lot with both lagers and even IPAs I've seen. And they say it tastes like a warm slice of classic pumpkin pie or like a pumpkin spice latte. So it's in both camps. I feel like pumpkin spice lattes are more intense on pumpkin spice than a pumpkin pie is. So at least, like, it's not too long ago, my girlfriend and I went out for a walk with the kids, and I think it was during the autumn break, the autumn vacation, and we had a pumpkin spice latte. And it's more intense than a baked pumpkin pie. You can, of course, make that more intense yourself if you want to put in more spice, but yeah, it's up to you, I guess. But let's check this one out. So it pours a fairly hazy brown color. It looks darker than all the other pumpkin ales so far, and yeah, a bit of a beige head that fizzed away really quickly. But it looks nice and it smells nice from here. So let's check out the aroma on Scythe. That is definitely the best aroma so far on all the beers. It's got so much layered maltiness compared to the others. You can smell almost like from the get-go that this is from a smaller brewery. Whilst the other one, the nitro latte thing, had so much vibrant spice and craziness. It was like, I really dug it, but it was almost all over the top. This is also very forward, but not as restrained as like a pumpkin head or smashed pumpkin. Those are a bit more held back on their spice compared to this. And they don't have this complex malt character. There's like almost like a toffee, slightly coconutty thing, but definitely toffee, brown sugar, almost like maple. The spices really show like this autumnal fall spice. Lots of breadiness, pie crust. Like, this smells awesome. This really smells like, something that's really been worked on. It also looks, I wonder if this is going to be similar to Schlafly's. I think a lot of people talk about Schlafly's and praise the malt character on that beer. And this has got a lot of malt character. I think, was it Vienna malts in Munich? I can't remember. There was somewhere that it said what malts they put in. Maybe it was actually on here. Let's see. Drowned Lands Scythe. Yeah, so it's Vienna and Munich malts as a base, and then biscuit, red wheat, and spelt to create a flavor that's similar to pie crust. Interesting. It smells really good, though. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. That's impressive. Like that drinks like the smashed pumpkin. Like it's got a similar bold flavor profile to that beer. Just a tiny bit less sweet because it's lower in ABV, but malt character and everything seems somewhat on par with that beer. And this is 5.7%, not like, what is it, 8 or 9. That's pretty impressive. It for sure drinks like some kind of lager, darker lager meets pumpkin ale. And I think the spices are more like balanced on the flavor profile. They're still definitely there, and you know, just a bit more restrained, but not as like restrained as the pumpkin head. That was like so weird, almost like artificial. But this has got like warm fall spice, and I think this one it's more like spice mix. It's difficult to say like specific. Oh, I taste clove, nutmeg, all these. Like it just feels like a plethora of like fall spice. Maybe even a hint of red apple to this one as well. I don't know about pumpkin though. It doesn't have per se that gourdy flavor, which lacks a bit. And I think that's part of the style. You need to get at least a little bit of that flavor. I'm not picking much of that up. The mouthfeel is like dry, slightly fluffy-esque, but it's not like that rich either. It actually smelled more enticing than malt character. It falls a bit more flat on the palate. It's not as full. But again, it's also not a very strong beer. I mean, pumpkin ales aren't necessarily supposed to be imperial in strength. So I think that's also like a big part of it. And I think maybe like the pronounced malt flavor in this paired with smashed pumpkin would be it would be dead on. I still actually like the left-hand one the most. Like initially on the aroma, I was thinking this is gonna be the best, but yeah, it's just a bit more easygoing, kind of like I just want a bit more full malt taste. That's about it, and maybe also more pumpkin flavor actually, because there's not a lot. So it's mainly this fall spice. Again, I think I definitely taste cinnamon and clove, but was it nutmeg and allspice as well? Nutmeg and ginger. But again, it just tastes like a pumpkin spice blend. They nail that pumpkin pie type flavor. I think it's definitely more towards pumpkin pie than pumpkin spice latte. So what are we going to grade this? Probably like an 88 or 89. Something like that. I think I like it somewhat on par with the Schlafly. Schlafly, what am I saying? Shipyard. Schlafly, they didn't have that. I'd like to try that one though. Yeah, this is a good pumpkin ale. Think like pumpkin ale meets like some kind of darker lager. And in terms of the Foeder fermentation in wood, I don't know. I'm not really picking up on it. There is maybe like a barky thing, but I think it's more like cinnamon, like that just dry, almost woodiness of cinnamon, than necessarily the Foeder. But the thing also with a lot of these fermentations and Foeders is that you're not going to get loads of flavor from the wood either. It's usually a clean fermentation, and it's not like aging in like a spirit barrel or a wine barrel or whatever usually, or just on like loads of oak. It's mainly for fermentation, not like storing long term. You need to store a while in wood to get flavor as well. But yeah, I think this is good. It is a nice pumpkin ale. So yeah, 88 or 89 for Drowned Land Scythe. Still don't want to top the 90 because that's that's for the left hand. That was just crazy good. That was my favorite so far. But yeah, if you guys had Drowned Land Scythe Foeder Fermented Pumpkin Ale, let me know. It's it's funny. I'm so excited about these beers, but I'm so far I've only rated 190. So it's not like beers that are you're gonna get super excited about. I think for some people, but I just there's something about it that's fun and nostalgic, and I think it's just like seeking out that pumpkin ale that's really nails it. And back in the day, I think that was pumpkin. But yeah, this is still really good. Slugger, enjoyable. For sure, something to check out if you like pumpkin ales. So if you guys had this one, Scythe from Drowned Lands, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers. See you guys in another review of a pumpkin ale.